And now, the general weather around Alaska.
There's a blizzard warning out for tonight, continues through tonight here for the entire stretch of the Arctic coast due to greatly reduced visibilities and heavy snow and blowing snow resulting from winds out of the east-northeast gusting as high as 75 miles per hour. And then there's a wind advisory still out here for the passes of the Alaska Range for until 9 p.m. for winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. On the satellite imagery here, we had this low track into western Prince William Sound and now weakening up over the Alaska Range here this afternoon as it continues off to the northwest. And then it'll eventually pull westward here later on. And so all the heavy snow, heavy wind, and really heavy rains that occurred along the North Gulf Coast, south central Alaska today, ending, and the front pushing through the Panhandle now into British Columbia there. Also, conditions improving there as well. But as this system tracks northward, that just put the squeeze on the atmosphere there with the Arctic high up over the Arctic Ocean. And very strong winds again, some areas reporting gusts of 75 miles an hour, especially on the eastern Arctic coast there, and anywhere from 50 to 65 miles an hour on the western Arctic coast. Otherwise, clearing out here over portions of Bristol Bay and locally areas of southern Cook Inlet, mostly drying out, not especially clearing out. As this moisture slips northward, much colder air west of the Alaska Range now filtering into Cook Inlet and coming up from the southwest. So temperatures edging downward and will continue to fall here later tonight and into tomorrow. Out to the west, not a whole lot going on out there. Got a weak system out here over the western Bering Sea. Another system down here moving eastward, east-southeastward actually, across the Fox Islands today with some rain there. Colder air north of that system, snow showers, wet snow, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s over the Pribilof Islands. On the chart today, you can see the very tight gradient up here over the areas from about the Brooks Range on up to the Arctic coast there, supporting those strong winds. Again, that's going to keep the blizzard warning out through tonight. Lighter winds here in the interior with this low tracking northward, weakening here as it tracks up toward Denali Park, actually, give or take right in through here, kind of an extension of the trough back to the west. And then snow and rain showers here over the Bering Sea with this system tracking southeastward there of the Fox Islands. Another low here with associated frontal system there, but you can see improving here over the southeast coast. For tonight, this system tracks northeastward here, and that'll increase the wind and rain along the southern panhandle again. This low pulls westward in toward Norton Sound, so areas of snow here across much of the western interior areas. Not too bad for Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island, just cloudy skies there, maybe a few flurries. Light snow diminishing but persisting, say, down Turnagain Arm, Chugach Mountain areas, Alyeska, in toward Prince William Sound along the coast range there, drying out over the Copper River Basin with temperatures there falling back below freezing after a mild day you had today. Dry over the eastern interior of the state. And numerous rain and snow showers here over the southeast Bering Sea flowing right into the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutians. We'll see tomorrow this low slides down over the Yukon Delta, weakening to about 990 millibars, but quite a gradient here. Improving winds again. Tomorrow the blizzard warning will be over. Much lighter winds, especially on the eastern Arctic coast. They're still pretty breezy on the west side and pretty good north to northwest winds. Possibly gusting anywhere from 35 to 50 miles an hour, St. Matthew Island, right on down across the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutians, pulling that snowfall level down towards sea level. Rain, periods of possibly heavy at times here along the southeast coast with this front slowly edging eastward there as the low slows down and parks off the north coast of the Panhandle there. And then out to the west, the next system here, we'll see for Saturday, doesn't really, kind of just moves northward there. The frontal system staying way out to the west, but it'll affect the western Aleutians with wind and rain in that area. Higher pressure, drier conditions, a little breezy, but not too strong in the winds here for the central and eastern Bering Sea. Much lighter winds up in the northern Bering Sea. Western interior, dry with a fair amount of clearing. All the way down into Bristol Bay now, Kodiak Island. Gusty northwest winds, colder temperatures, clearing skies, also clearing out south central Alaska with highs First day of the weekend in the 20s now, staying below freezing here for south central Alaska, and dry, variably cloudy, and in the teens for the eastern interior. And with this low parked off the north coast of the Panhandle, several surges of moisture will continue to rotate in on southwest flow, keeping it damp and unsettled over the southeast coast. Lows for tonight down that way in the upper 30s to lower 40s. 20s here, south central Alaska, lower 30s, safe for Valdez. Single numbers, 5 to 15, Kuskokwim Valley, 10 to 15 for Bristol Bay, and about the same here in the central interior, all the way up to the Arctic coast. 20s over the northern Bering Sea, about 30 for the Pribilofs, and in the 30s for the Aleutians. Highs tomorrow, lower 40s here for the Aleutians, up to 47 at Shimian, near 40 in the Pribilofs, right at the freeze point there for Savunga, Gamble area. Lower 20s central interior here, and lower 30s for south central Alaska, in the teens for the Kuskokwim Valley, 20s for Bristol Bay, and 40s for the southeast coast. Lows the following morning, anywhere from 0 to 10. Some areas a little warmer here, but for the most part, everyone's staying this side of 0. 10 to 15 for Bristol Bay, down to 10 to 20 for south central Alaska, and 0 to 10 for the Copper River Basin, depending on how much clearing you get. Milder and above freezing for the southeast coast, and the high Saturday afternoon in the 40s for the Panhandle, and 40s out over the Aleutians as well. Lower 40s for the Pribilofs, and teens to lower 20s for the Arctic coast and North Slope, staying in the teens here for much of the central interior, down into the Kuskokwim Valley areas.